memory work. Math and timeline.
Judah falls to Babylon. Temple destroyed. Babylon falls to Persia. So my B turns into a P. Babylon falls to Persia. Jews return and rebuild the temple. Roman Republic, Golden Age of Greece. This is the sign language G, so we just do this like the helmet. Golden Age of Greece. Peloponnesian, bring the P back, wars. Persia falls to Alexander the Great. So, Judah falls to Babylon, temple destroyed. Babylon falls to Persia, Jews return and rebuild the temple. Roman Republic, Golden Age of Greece, Peloponnesian Wars. Persia falls to Alexander the Great. And that's what I would do. If the kids in my class seem pretty familiar with the timeline, which they do, we would bring out the silly dice, of course, because that's what everyone likes to do. And then I would probably just take down a couple of these and we would sing through it again. I would be silent on those parts and see if they could get it without me, which I'm pretty sure they could. If they did really well with that, then I'll take off one more and we'll do it again if they did really well with that, so on and so forth. We pretty much end it with all the cards are down and they're singing it all by themselves. So, yes. Math. Skip counting the 9s and the 10s. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81, and 90. 99, 108, 117, 126, 135. Those are skip counting the 9s. We would do our cards. They would point to the cards on the wall that say 1 times 9 and 2 times 9 while everybody else sang the song over and over again. 10s, super easy. Forgot my cards, give me a second. Okay, 10s are really easy, so I can work in a lot more with the 1 times 10 is 10 and 2 times 10 is 20. So I'm going to do that, and I think this one's a great one because there's no song or tune to try to keep up with. I'm going to divide my kids into, 2 groups. One group is going to be 10, and the other group is going to be younger than 10. And we've done this before, and it turned out to be pretty fun. So the 10s group would say 1 times 10, and then the under 10 group would yell out 10, and we would go on like that, and it's pretty fun. So the older kids would say 1 times 10 is, the other group would say 10, 2 times 10 is 20, 3 times 10 is 30. So we would go back and forth and do that a couple of times. We would, and then we would just chant through the 10s. And while we chanted through the 10s, I would show them the card, just so that they can see, especially maybe the younger ones who are newer to this, that they can see the pattern. We can go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150. English, objective pronouns. As a little bit of information that might help, but you don't have to use, or no, really. Nominative pronouns was the pronouns that worked as the subject to the verb, and objective pronouns are pronouns that are the object of a verb or the predicate. Objective pronouns to the tune of My Little Pony. Objective pronouns, me, him, her, it, us, you, them. We are the very best of friends. Okay, and to show that it can be used as it is used as the object of the verb, it's she hugged me, she hugged him, she hugged her, she hugged it, she hugged us, she hugged you, She hugged them. So these all work as the object. Objective pronouns, me, him, her, it, us, you, them. We are the very best of friends. Okay, so that's English. History, tell me about the 100 Years' War. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to bring some actors from home. So we have Joan of Arc, and we have King Charles. And I'll do this first, and then the kids can take turns coming up here and do this. And then we have our rat. Tell me about the 100 Years' War. During the 100 Years' War, Joan of Arc and King Charles VII led the French to defeat England at the Battle of Orleans in the late 1340s. So I'm going to just introduce Joan of Arc, introduce King Charles VII, and then they're going to lead and then put them down to defeat England at the Battle of Orleans in the late 13, which is going to throw up a 3, in the late 1340s. Fleas. Okay, we're going to do this. Fleas on rats. I'm going to hold up my rat. Fleas on rats carried. The plague which killed. And then I'm going to hold up my 3 Europeans. The plague which killed 1 out of 3 Europeans. All together. During the 100 Years' War, Joan of Arc and King Charles VII led the French to defeat England at the Battle of Orleans. In the late 1340s, fleas on rats carried the plague which killed 1 out of 3 Europeans. In the late 1340s, fleas on rats carried the plague which killed 1 out of 3 Europeans. That's history. There is kind of a lot there. I'll just show that to them a couple times, and then they can take turns doing it while everybody sings. Latin. First conjugation endings, future tense. So, I told my daughters that a way to remember this one was that in the future, they might have a beau. So, future tense starts with beau.
Beau bisbit, bimis bitis bunt. Beau bisbit, bimis bitis bunt. Beau bisbit, bimis bitis bunt. First conjugation, future tense.
Because in the future, you might have a beau. And the reason why I do that is because when we went through cycle 2 before, my kids were going for memory master, they knew all of these, but they had a hard time connecting which ones went to which tense. So we came up with these little reminders to just help us remember which one goes to which.
Future tense, beau.
Science. How do animals react to environmental change? I just grabbed a stuffed animal from home. And this stuffed animal is going to act it out as we chant it, and then the kids can take turns acting it out with the stuffed animal. I could bring 1, I could bring 8, 1 for each, depending on how you want to do that. How do animals react to environmental change? Animals react to environmental change, they adapt. Okay, so we're just going to hold our stuffed animals and kind of shrug our shoulders, like we're just going to deal with it. We're going to change with it. We're just going to adapt. They migrate, so make them walk away or fly. So they migrate. They hibernate. We're just going to lay them down and they're going to go to sleep. So it's going to look like this or sound like this. How do animals react to environmental change? Animals react to environmental change. They adapt, migrate, hibernate. Adapt, migrate, hibernate. That's science, and then like I said, everyone will have their own stuffed animals and do that, or this one that I brought will be passed around. European cities: London, Paris, Rome, Barcelona, Orleans. When we sing it with the actual countries, and I got this tune and this idea from CC Happy Mom, but instead of just saying London, we say London, England, and we do it to the tune of London Bridges Coming Down because it starts with London. London, England, Paris, France, Rome, Italy, Barcelona, Spain, Orleans is in France too, European cities. And of course we would sing it and I would show it to the kids on the map and then they would point to the places.
London, England, Paris, France, Rome, Italy, Barcelona, Spain, Orleans is in France too, European cities. London, England, Paris, France, Rome, Italy, Barcelona, Spain, Orleans is in France too, European cities.
Bible, like I said before, this one's optional. What is God's covenant with David? God promises that the Messiah would come from the family of David. The tribe of Judah would establish an unending kingdom.
That's Bible, and that's all of week 5. Hope that helps. The differences if you're doing 5th edition is science is off a week. So the science for 4th edition week 5 is just the science for 5th edition week 6. And everything else is the same, except a couple minor differences in the history sentence. In the 4th edition, the history sentence says England and battle, and in the 5th edition, the history sentence changes those words to English and siege. Other than that, it's all the same.
In the late 1340s, I'll redo that. During the 100 Years' War. Do that again. Okay, so that one might have worked. During the 100 Years' War,